back once again to this Beefcast presentation in association with mouzCCMaNa TV. Brandon, how's it going?
It's going awesome, man. I definitely like this map, mainly because Protoss just is good on this map if you're in cross position. So excited to see what Mana's going to do.
Yeah, me too. But first, introducing his opponent, spawning in the top right-hand corner of Tal'Darim Altar, dropping game number 1 there with some pretty epic macro of his own, but his opponent just a little bit outclassing him there. Can he bring it back? He's the Blue Terran, EG.DeMusliM.
Yeah, and we have his opponent, the red Protoss down in the bottom left of Tal'Darim Altar, mouzCCMaNa. I'm not really sure what the CC in his name is. Do you know?
Card counters.
Card counters?
Card counters. Yeah.
Is it like a sponsor?
Yeah, that's a title sponsor of Mouz.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's kind of one of those things that poker and StarCraft just have kind of gone together for like the last 10 years. Lots and lots of players do both of them. They kind of go back and forth, talking big names like Elky, you know, one of the best StarCraft players in Brood War, and actually a huge name in poker as well. I believe that he had something like the highest online winnings in of all time.
Huh.
Yeah,
wow,
he's made
just really good.
millions and millions and millions of dollars playing online poker. And Elky, yeah, pretty big name there. And yeah, like you said, Kiwi Kaki, somebody like Jinro, just retired, said he's going to be making his way back to poker. And but hold on, we got something to talk about right here in this game. Hidden CC there for DeMusliM, popping that down at what could be his 4th or 5th base. And so what do you think about that?
I think he wants to be greedy, and he also wants his opponent to think something crazy is happening. If you go into a base and you see like the barracks is this light, you generally assume command center first, but you don't see it in the natural. So it's kind of weird. It makes you think it might be like double proxy in the middle, something crazy. But I think if he sees this and then just scouts around like he should know, you know, oh, you just took an expansion somewhere clever.
And so we do see both of those racks placed in a little bit of Maka racks types. Well, one of the racks placed in a little bit of a Maka racks situation there. And so he's kind of going to rely on Mana, thinking that this is maybe something kind of funky. But Mana should know his timings. He should be able to realize that this is CC first. And I think he'll probably make his way down to that location. I've seen this happen before in a couple different games. And he's just going to lift this off and move that into the natural position pretty close here. But Mana, how do you think he's going to react here? Well, we already see the Nexus is pretty far gone.
He's made his Nexus right after his gateway, so he's playing to the map. So what time are you at? I accidentally hit B.
Okay. I'm currently at 4:25.
Okay, I'm definitely behind. Okay. Cool, there we go. I want to grab.
Here, I'll pause it for you at 4:36.
4:36.
This is the things that we have to do when we're watching replays together.
Yeah.
Thanks, Blizzard.
Yeah, I usually close the little timer thing, so I can't do that.
Yeah, I don't even know what B does.
Yeah. Okay. 4:36, you said?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, sweet, I'm there.
All right, we'll start it up in 3, 2, 1, go.
My apologies. Anyway,
not a problem. I did it last time.
Yeah, like you said, quick Nexus. It's actually done now apparently, and he's gone double gas after it, so he's playing really greedy. We see another gateway, so no Robo after this. That would have been super greedy. He's gonna play a little bit safer.
Yeah, no gate, Robo gate, nothing like that. And DeMusliM right now going to leave that orbital command down there at the 4th position. How do you think that Mana is really going to react if he pokes back in there and sees that there's no expansion at the natural? Is he going to start to get worried about the possibility that this is, in fact, a one-base play?
I think he's going to scout that base first. And if he doesn't see it there, which, you know, he will, then yeah, he would worry about it. This is something you can do on a map like this if you just want a free advantage, which is, you know, Terran needs that on this map. In cross positions, it's just kind of something that you do. So I definitely think Mana will look for it. And if he sees it, oh yeah, he's already got a pylon building there. So
yeah, he's got that proxy pylon, and he used the line of sight blocker tall grass there to just barely poke a probe in. So if DeMusliM didn't see that, there's a possibility that the warpins over here could be kind of deadly, but the
Oh
Marines
wow.
did, in fact, see that and are very smart to make their way over
Yeah.
there and take out that proxy pylon. And behind this, the SCVs are going to be making their way out of there as the orbital command does transition into the natural.
Yeah, that could have been a really big deal if, Mana had gone 3 gates right after his expansion, which he didn't do. So at this point, it wasn't really going to be that huge of a deal. It does force the command center to lift off and go to the natural, so delaying the economy a little bit. Just, I mean, it's not really like either player's ahead by this. It's just kind of something that happened. We see Mana here actually did throw down some more gateways, so he looks to go for an attack.
Yeah, going all the way up to 6 gateways at this point. This is going to be a lot of aggression, and thankfully, EG.DeMusliM does have those 3 racks down with double reactors right there, so he's going to be able to produce a ton of units right now. It's actually something similar to what I saw last night in Flash versus Mini. Mini, the Protoss player, going all the way up to 7 gates off of 2 base, and Flash off of 3 orbital commands simply did not have enough to deal with it. Even though he had 5 bunkers down, he was not able to beat the 7 gate.
Yeah, 7 gate's really strong. It's just really all there is to say about it. You have so many units, and they're good until stim is out. So if you hit before stim, you just kind of kill them. And if they don't, have more than 3 or 4 bunkers and enough units.
Yeah, and so making their way across the map right now, the Protoss units, a lot of sentries there. We do have a total of 6 sentries with a decent amount of energy. Going to be able to plump down quite a few force fields here, and the warpins are going to start. Stim is still about a minute away, and Stalker's going to poke up there and pick off 1 Marine. We do see Marines and Marauders out here behind the units, and they could be looking to set up somewhat of a flank, but I don't think that you want to have units on both sides right now, do you?
No, if Mana knows this, it's GG. He goes, kills those units, walks over to EG.DeMusliM's natural and kills him.
Oh, and those 2 Stalkers are going to make their way in. But the stim is going to be done here in only about 25 seconds. And Mana charges up the ramp right here. And with all those units out of position, they walk right by the bunkers. The bunker's completely devoid of units. And force field's going to go down, segmenting a lot of the units right here. But there is a lot of bio. SCV is going to be coming off the line. Nice force fields. Make sure to protect the vulnerable Stalkers and sentries. But I think there's actually enough Terran here to clean this up right now. All the sentries taking so much damage. The Guardian Shield, not enough. The last 2 Stalkers going to be cleaned up right here. And Mana forced to retreat. The 6 gate, unsuccessful.
Yeah, what happened there is, Mana, he didn't realize that all the units were there. He probably thought that EG.DeMusliM was going to pull everything back to the natural. He walked up, looked, saw empty bunkers, and decided to attack. Even though what he should have done is reposition his army, put the Zealots at the back, and then he could have defended and, had a better engagement versus that army, but he didn't know that, so he pretty much just lost everything really poorly. And as a result, he's throwing out double gas in his natural, and a robotics along with 2 forges. He's still going to be way behind, though.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be taking some risks here, knowing that he's certainly behind. But these are the risks that you have to take to try to get back into the game. Going to be focusing on that double upgrades there. He's going to be able to take a little bit of an upgrade advantage if he chronos those out all the way. Although right now we do see the bio units already at 1-0. Going to be throwing down a second engineering bay to try to get 2-1 started. But EG.DeMusliM was actually so confident in repelling that attack right there that he threw down an orbital command or a command center at the 3rd while that attack was still going on.
Yeah, I think when he saw that it was going to be out of position, he's just like, oh, I can crush this, easy peasy, and throw down his expansion. And at that point, I mean, 400 minerals isn't actually going to do you anything as a Terran, just because you have to queue up those units, wait for them to produce. So I like that. It's either I'm going to hold this and I'm going to be ahead, or I'm going to die, and the 400 minerals won't even matter. So good choice by him. Now we also see EG.DeMusliM is moving out here. He's got 2 medevacs, a good amount of bio, and they're on +1. So
yeah, a big stim up right there. And with only 2 sentries here, the force field's not going to be going down just yet. A second Guardian Shield does go up, and both sentries do fall. But the Zealot wall is completely gone right now. Marines and Marauders stimmed up against Stalkers. That is not something that you want to have happen. With those 2 medevacs there healing everything up, it looks like EG.DeMusliM might actually be able to just press here into the main base and unpowering that robotics right there. The Observer not going to be making its way out, and GG comes out of Mana. We're going to game 3.
Yeah, man. That was definitely smart by EG.DeMusliM pressuring there. He knew that Mana had given away so many units. He's just like, well, I've been making units the whole time. I didn't lose everything in that attack, and I have stim now. And when you have stim and your opponent doesn't have AoE, you just kind of kill them. So good choice by him. I like that.
Oh yeah, that was pretty good star sense is what they would call it back in Brood War. For EG.DeMusliM right there, just drops that scan, sees the army, and says, my army is actually smaller than yours, but it's got stim, it's got metavax, and you don't have any High Templar, you don't have any Colossi, you don't have anything that's going to be able to really repel this. I'm just going to stim up and use the superior mobility and high DPS of my army to just kill you right here, right now. And that's what he did.
He also had an upgrade, which is massive when you're using Marines. It just shoots so fast.
Yeah. Definitely. All right, we're moving on to Game 3 then. See if we can close out this series here. I've been your casting host, Beef. Check out my casts over at twitch.tv/BeefPotPie1 and youtube.com/BeefPotPie1. Brandon, where can they find you?
You can check it out on YouTube at just youtube.com/mouzCCMaNa. It's MUATARN. Not fun to spell, but whatever.
Not fun to spell, but fun to watch. Check him out over there. We're moving on. Hope to see you guys in the next game.